So unlike rugby and cricket, which are only played in British colonies for the most part, or American football, which is only played in North America for the most part, mixed martial arts is a worldwide sport. Anybody can catch these hands. And no matter where you are on Earth, somebody's going to check the grappling.
Black belt. We have to check that, man.
So in this video, I'm going to go continent by continent and share who I think is the best male fighter and the best female fighter on that continent. So some of these are going to be obvious. Some of these might surprise you. And obviously, there's no one in Antarctica except for penguins and failed military experiments. So I'm going to draft 2 fighters to fight and represent Antarctica. So let's go ahead. Let's get started. An easy one first. We're going to start with Europe. Ilia Topuria. Now, he's born in Germany. His ethnicity is Georgian, but he lives in Spain, fights out of Spain. The only person more European than him might be Tyson Fury's dad.
I'm a machine! Me! Can anybody question who I am? Come on!
Okay, he's tearing up the UFC right now. You can make a good argument that he's the best pound for pound in the whole UFC. Unquestionably the best boxer. He's undefeated, super heavy hands, strong grappling background that, you know, I've still never seen it, but people swear, you know. It's kind of like when your friend transfers from another school and he tells you like, yeah, bro, like at my last school, I was All-American. I was starting on the football team and I had a girlfriend. It's like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. But Ilia Topuria, definitely, this will be the male fighter for Europe. The female fighter for Europe, and this was kind of confusing, Valentina Shevchenko. And I'm going to say why it's confusing because, and don't roast my American education. This is where my American education is going to get roasted. America! So she's from Kyrgyzstan, which borders China and is right above Pakistan. But her parents are Russian Ukrainian, which is technically Europe.
Huh?
And she looks European. Okay, she's also future Hall of Famer. She's also probably the second most dominant women's MMA fighter in UFC history. She's not going to let you drink water at practice. She probably has a gun in her bag. Definitely solid European team we got here. Ilia Topuria, Valentina Shevchenko. I would be proud if I was European, but I'm not. Let's go to South America. This is an easy one too. Poatan, Alex Pereira. What's understand don't need to be understood.
Huh?
What's understood don't need to be explained. Alex Pereira, obviously one of the most dominant champions in the UFC right now. 2-division champion, middleweight, light heavyweight. Started in the UFC literally like 3 years ago. Already a future Hall of Famer. South America, this is your boy. Now for the women, it gets kind of complicated, okay? Because Amanda Nunes is retired. So I gotta go Juliana Pena, even though Juliana Pena is literally from Spokane, Washington. Also, is that how you pronounce Spokane? Spokane or Spokane? I don't care. If you're from Spokane, I don't know if you can the city you're from is Spokane. Can you really represent South America? She's from Venezuela. I'd have to hear her speak Spanish.
¿Cómo fue la experiencia ya que había hombres y mujeres en la casa?
It was a little awkward sharing a bathroom and, you know, a bunch of smelly boys around.
So just in case her Spanish does not pass the no sabo test, we're going to draft Natalia Silva. She's very, very impressive striking, high pace. I believe she's undefeated in the UFC right now. One more win and she's a title contender, a serious title contender. So if Juliana Pena, if you don't pass the no sabo test, then Natalia Silva is going to come in here and represent South America. So how y'all feel about South America? How do y'all feel about this? Alex Pereira, Juliana Pena with an alternate of Natalia Silva. I like that. Now, North America, this is where I'm living. This is where it gets a little complicated because we say John Jones, right? But if you're an actual MMA fan, you're sick and tired of John Jones right now. And he's basically retired. He's going to wait for another year to decide, I don't know if I want to fight again or not. He's going to wait for another year and retire or sign for a fight. And then we're going to have to, wait until 2026 for him to fight again. So we're not counting John Jones. Instead, who do we got, man? If you look at the UFC rankings, Kamaru Usman, he claims Nigeria. Bilal Muhammad, he claims Palestine. That's the thing about America is literally everybody here is an immigrant. So if I'm going to do Americans, I'm going to do Americans who have been here for at least 2 generations, which surprisingly wipes out a lot of the people. Like technically me, I'm not even here 2 generations, but on my mom's side, why am I giving y'all all this information?
La migra! La migra! La migra!
If we're doing Americans who've been here for 2 generations or more, I can pick from Sean Brady, Jamal Hill, Khalil Roundtree, or guess who I can pick?
1, 2, get down.
Oh yeah, that America list is looking good now, right? Y'all feeling good about America? Dustin Poirier, another future Hall of Famer, wins over Conor McGregor, Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Eddie Alvarez, one of the best boxers in the UFC, one of the toughest guys in the UFC, multiple Fight of the Year contenders. He's got heart, he's got hot sauce. He's our American fighter. Now our female fighter, Kayla Harrison, baby. Kayla Harrison. This is another reason why you probably don't want Juliana Pena representing South America, because Juliana Pena right now is on the run. She's in her Ford Bronco on the 405, on the run away from Kayla Harrison as we speak. She's doing everything she can to not fight Kayla Harrison. And I don't blame her, because look at her. Matter of fact, drop and give me 20 right now. If you're a guy, you don't look like this, you got to drop and give me 20 right now, because this is ridiculous. Look at this, dude. She's bigger than Dustin. She has better arms than Dustin. She got better arms than John Jones. She got better arms than... Okay, Alex. Yeah, it just takes a 6'4" Amazonian warrior to have a better physique than Kayla Harrison. This is our American. I will hide behind this woman in a battle for America. I'm very happy. These are our North American representatives. Next, we got Asia, okay? Now, here's another complicated thing, and it took me, my American education did not inform me. So technically, everything from here to these mountains, these are the Caucasus Mountains. Everything up here is Europe, and everything down here is the Middle East and Asia, technically. So technically, Georgia is Asia, but Dagestan is Europe. That doesn't really make sense. It's all Eurasia. It's complicated, but Asia, we're giving Islam Makhachev. Because also this list just works better if Islam Makhachev is Asian and Ilia Topuria is European. Doesn't it just work better, right? You want the best from each continent. I'm sure he doesn't mind being lumped into Asia, even though he's literally Caucasian. I think he'll understand. You guys think he'll understand, or you think he's gonna be like,
Brother.
I'm European, brother. I'm European. I don't think he'll care. If not, it's all good, bro. We got Shavkat. Now, I will say I'd much rather have Islam than Shavkat, but it's all good. Asia, female, easy peasy, fried rice, 3-piece. Don't forget the egg roll seaweed. Okay. This lady, one of my favorite fighters. If you have a heart, this is one of your favorite fighters. I mean, she's got wins over everyone in her division, pretty much cleared out her division. First Chinese UFC champion, one of the greatest women's fights ever against Joanna Jem. This is our person. For Asia, this is our person. This is another... Dude, why is it low-key? Low-key, some of these women are more menacing than the guys. Like, Kayla Harrison... This is an all-world team. Look at this. Kayla Harrison, Weili Zhang, Natalia Silva, Juliana Pena. But before Juliana Pena, who was it? Amanda Nunes. Bruh, this is crazy. Valentina Shevchenko. These continents are absolutely stacked. This is really fun. Now let's go to Africa. I'm the only African champ. I breathe African air. I drink African beer. I train in African soil. And in my gym, I beat up African men. Dude, Dricus du Plessis is the king of Africa. I'm not even going front. This dude is a monster. The goofy king, the drunken master, Dricus du Plessis still knocks. Now, we have a predicament with African women, okay? There's not currently any African women signed to the UFC, unless I'm unaware. There's no African women signed to the UFC. So I'm going to have to draft somebody. We're going to have a Back to Africa campaign.
Peace and Pan-Africanism. This is Cousin King Kong Consciousness, Uncle Ifa Tunde, and Brother Black Power.
My melanated sisters, we are about to draft Angela Hill to the Africa team. My brothers and sisters. This is what we got. She is the first African-American woman to sign with the UFC. So that's pretty cool. She's a veteran in the strawweight division. She's fought basically everybody in her division. She has a couple records for most strikes landed in strawweight. We're going to give her that. Plus, she has this nice afro. So how y'all feel about Africa, huh? Honestly, Africa might be the weakest. Drickus, I feel like he's gonna stand his own, but yeah, Angela, she's getting folded if we put her against. I mean, look at this, guys. We put her against. Look at this, guys. Definitely last place if we put out Angela Hill here. But hey, we had to scrape. I don't want to say scrape the bottom of the bucket. We had to scrape the bottom of the gumbo. Wow, really? Next, what we got next? Oceania. Technically, that's the name of it, bro. We're just gonna say Australia. Alex Volkanovski. Man, I think he's still elite. He's still ranked number 1. The only people he's lost to are Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. So it's not like he's fallen off. So I'm taking, if I'm Oceania, is that how y'all say it? Oceania? Oceania. I don't know. I'm just saying Australia. Bro, he's the greatest featherweight of all time. He's beaten Max Holloway 3 times, Jose Aldo, Brian Ortega. Fight IQ. He's durable. Little Australian tank running around. Now, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I had to really do some research and figure out who is a female fighter from Australia. Bro, when I tell y'all, I didn't know who this lady was. And I'm really just, I'm sorry, bro. If you're Australian and that offends you that I don't know who Casey O'Neill is and why is she doing the duck lips? Is she doing the duck lips? Or is that's just her? I don't know, bro. What do I have to say about this lady? Great fighter. She was undefeated before her first loss, which is everybody, right? Undefeated before her first loss. She's got a great future ahead of her. There we go. Okay. Are y'all ready for Antarctica? Let's go. Now, the fighter for Antarctica has to be someone who can withstand the cold. And no one in the UFC can withstand the cold, withstand this ice like the Black Beast. He know how to keep warm in the heat. He know how to keep warm in the cold. Also, this isn't a bad pick for North America, low key. Except for the fact that he just like gives up if he fights anyone remotely athletic. But he's the all-time UFC knockout leader, and he can stay warm.
My balls was hot.
And you know, if you're down there in Australia, it's just you, some penguins, and like the nuclear codes. He's gonna keep it. He's gonna keep it fun. He's gonna be cracking jokes. Man, it's cold as a mug down here, man. Somebody get the icy machine. I need some slush. I'm tired of these slushes, bro. Dang, bro, they ain't even got no Popeyes chicken down here. This place sucks, bro. Anyways, now our last fighter, the female who can keep warm in Antarctica, is no other than Molly Meatball McCann. Now, this one is basically because you know how brave you gotta be, or how savage a place you gotta live in, where men will call you meatball. Men, hardest of the heart, will call you meatball. And you take it and you say, sure, that's my name. Woman, how tough is this lady? Now, I've seen her eat. I've seen her like literally eat off of Patty Pimblett's plate. And she survived to tell the tale in her very thick accent. I'm putting Molly Meatball on the Antarctica team. She's from up north in whatever that island is, the UK. Big up the whole island, you know, UK, Liverpool. I think she's a good pick for Antarctica. So this is my all-continent team for the UFC. Ilia Topuria for Europe, Valentina Shevchenko. For South America, Alex Pereira, Juliana Pena with a B-side of Natalia Silva. America, we're not doing John Jones. America, Dustin Poirier. Okay, my video's over. I'm not doing it. You can just rewind. What am I doing?